down. Sorry,
Testing.
that came off really wrong.
Are
I
you
just want to
testing?
cut a little testing, so I want.
Testing.
What, we're recording?
No.
Yeah, we were.
Well, we can be, but I don't want that.
Should we just start over?
This interview is not going to come in between us. I thought that was the whole point of this project.
That is the point of this
So
project.
let's put the
Okay.
mic right over
Great.
here.
And
Alright.
so we've almost been married a year.
No.
And-
I'm not ready yet.
Where's this going? We're going to try this again.
I'm Jacob Groves.
Groves Jacob. And I'm Kristen Groves. Or Mrs. Second Lieutenant Jacob Groves.
She wanted to put that on the wedding invite, but we weren't married yet. Thought it'd be kind of presumptuous.
If I could describe the Army in one word, it might be hua.
If I could describe dance in one word, probably beauty. What is the purpose of dance? Why do we dance? She was a dancer, one of my close friends in high school, and she could tell I was being a little bit philosophically critical, and she said, well, because it's beautiful, and that alone was reason to dance.
Yeah, and I've learned from Jake that there are sometimes reasons to fight. A lot of good reasons to fight, even when it isn't beautiful. The arts, we fight for truth and freedom in a very different way. And the military absorbs multiple individuals to create a fighting force and a large whole, where the arts, we draw out the individual, and we love to explore the individual and highlight the individual and empathize with the individual. We were married. I'm going to check this.
Remember, is that because you don't know?
1, 2, 3.
June 25th.
2010. Had a short honeymoon, and then we have been long distance. So for the last year, I've been finishing up my degree in Ohio, and Jake's been in Georgia trying to finish up his training as an infantry officer. What's an infantry officer?
An infantry officer, it's kind of like infant. It's related to the word infant. It's infantry.
An infantry
So-
officer
Infants and
is...
trees?
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's
An
pretty much
officer
how it
who
goes.
leads troops into battle. He leads ground troops into
Yeah, like a
battle,
gravel grinder or ground pounder.
as they say in the Army.
Shoot, move, and communicate. That's what we do. We need to be in really good rucking shape.
What's rucking?
Rucking is what we call backpacking. In the military, we have a rucksack, which is a backpack that we store our military gear in. Practice moving long distances with our gear. And we need to be able to run short distances over different terrain and negotiate over obstacles, and yeah, that's what we do. Front leaning, rest position, move, in cadence, exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, and so on.
Jake loves to try and break his limits with his body. He tries to see how far he can go, how long he can run, how many push-ups he can do. And dance is kind of the opposite of that. We kind of coddle training our body, and we take a lot of time to do restorative exercises and only do, push-ups and sit-ups to where we feel comfortable.
Train like you fight. So
Yeah, and train like you dance.
there you go. What are fine arts, babe?
Fine arts are... Oh no, I'm getting a master's in this.
Sometimes one of the funny things about Kristen and I is we tend to polarize our life experiences. So she talks about herself as the dancer, and I talk about myself as the warrior defender, as though, I wasn't a dancer before and she wasn't a warrior defender, which clearly we both were. First, I waited in the lobby while my parents went to contra dances. That was really boring, but then I got to the point where they talked me into coming out and joining them. And the memories that I
The
have
next night,
of contra dancing with my family
We went to
are
a military
laughing
dance, a military ball.
and moving.
We took a few turns around the floor.
Everyone was
and
friends. We were all
passed
holding
out.
hands.
It wasn't
And she
always
realized
important to me that my
music was
future
really fun. It was
much
much
more
more so it was
important
just
to
a
her
really,
than
it's a really bright,
dance
previous and happy
necessarily,
memory
or
for me
danced really
of
well, but
childhood.
Yeah, he did kind of sweep me off my feet. I knew I wanted them to appreciate
It was
what
the
I
first
did.
date where we were on a date with each other.
I remember him being tall, but it's probably because I'm short. I'm 5'4". And I saw
Yeah,
him,
when I
and he
first saw
extended his
Kristen.
hand, and he said, "Hi, I'm Jake." And I felt this sonic boom
Like when the Death Star blows up,
kind of just rush through
and
me.
when you see that shockwave coming out,
And
and then
I was
wow,
just
I could marry
really
a girl like that.
surprised by this.
And
Like
as
it
soon
just
as I
came
said
on
that, it
really
was like
suddenly,
something inside me kind of clicked. And I
and
went,
all I saw
"Whoa,
was,
what was
a lot of
that?"
strength and courage and fierce
yeah, I
self-control.
remember telling my
It's a really
brother
good way
about
to
that
say it.
experience when I got home that night.
I
said,
felt
"You know,
like I was
don't wanna
looking at
sound
my
all-
husband, which was so
all
weird
weird,
because I
but
didn't even know this
I
guy.
just
He had invited
really
me out,
neat
and I was
experience when
definitely
I met-
impressed by him.
met this girl
And
that
I had this
Robbie was on a date
overwhelming
with. I'm
sense
curious to
of
see where this goes.
I just knew that there was something there that I had never felt with anybody
That
else.
was when I kind of realized
and it really freaked me out.
that I was going to have the exciting opportunity to have to truly win her over.
I think over the course of almost a year now, we've probably seen each other face to face for maybe about 3 months total. It takes a lot of time and money and sacrifice to make a long distance relationship last. In January 2nd, Jake entered a training program called Ranger School, and it's for infantry officers in the military, and it's a very intense training leadership program where they're dealing with a lot of food and sleep deprivation situations, and it's to help simulate high stress combat situations and prepare these infantry officers to demonstrate sound leadership, quick decision making, and cool heads in times of high stress situations. So over the course of 3 months, we didn't get to see each other. We didn't even get to have phone privileges necessarily, and we wrote letters to each other weekly, if not daily, often. Which is something that only my grandparents did.
Kristen's kind of a romantic, nostalgic like that.
Yeah, Jake's worse. It's dated February 11th, 2011 of this year.
I would love to be with you this Valentine's Day. You know I'm not a huge St. Valentine's Day fan, but it is a fun and romantic time for small, simple acts of affection and service. So here's a tender handhold.
But there was one night where he was gone. They say it's called going to the field, which means he's sleeping outside somewhere.
Here's moving aside the table and dancing in the living room. Here's slowing it down so that you can hear my heart right. Here's dressing up for a candlelit dinner.
But it had just been a long week. You know, we're newlyweds. Your house is just empty, and you don't know anybody in your community really yet.
Then looking you in the eyes and whispering, I love you, I love you, I love you.
And so I decided to buy some cards at Joanna's, like, craft and store, the fabric place, and
I love the love that we share. I love to feel it grow. I love making decisions to say clean and pure for you so that our love will continue to grow.
so this card kit came with 50 cards, and I made 50 custom cards in one night. I stayed up until 6 a.m. because I couldn't sleep that night. And then I made Jake sit down and look through all of them.
From the man who knows what you love, Jake.